Fever down. Bow, bow, bow. No.
There we go. There we go.
We crushed them in fast break points 17-8. Right, we crushed them in second chance points 20-11. Okay, all of those things, y'all.
After the last two games against the Valkyrie, after the last game against the Las Vegas Aces, a question many of us had was, who's going to step up on this Indiana Fever team when Caitlin Clark doesn't have it, when the shot's not falling? If she's not able to carry this team, who's willing to step up and show up when it matters the most, when it's time to buckle down and get this team a victory? Folks, after the last two games, I just wanted a win tonight.
What happens when a team's biggest star has the worst night of her career during the most important revenge game of the season? You'd expect a total collapse, a humiliating defeat, and a victory for the villains of the story. But on June 24th, 2025, something else happened entirely. The Indiana Fever walked into Seattle's arena carrying a grudge that had been simmering for nearly a year, ready to settle a score with the team that had publicly disrespected their rookie phenom. But when Caitlin Clark's shot went cold and the Seattle crowd began to roar, the Fever didn't fold. Instead, three unlikely heroes rose from the ashes of their stars' struggle to deliver a form of payback nobody saw coming. This wasn't just a win. It was a declaration of war, and it proved that the new Indiana Fever is a team you can no longer bully.
Okay, by now I'm sure you've seen Skylar Diggins assault. Caitlin Clark after Indiana blew out Seattle. Now, was that jail? No. Would it be a fight in the NBA? Yes. What I don't get is the Seattle coach here is the one complaining after the game, and Skylar, tears in her eyes, being like, how dare Caitlin embarrass me? How dare they beat us by 30?
Here's how crazy the reaction was. Dave Portnoy's post about the incident got over 250,000 views in just the first 20 minutes. That's how fast this thing spread. Fans were divided, but most people saw exactly what this was. Clark handled it with class, but you could see the frustration building in her teammates' faces.
Hey, ladies, grow up. They didn't take their starters out in time? What are you talking about? And here's what I love. You think Caitlin's going to back down because they're crying? Like, how can a rookie embarrass us? What do they keep beating us up like this? How is she so good? No, Caitlin doesn't back down at all. She's like, hey, zip it, Skylar. Shut up. Stop crying. She literally mouths, stop crying. I'm not sure if it's in this video.
The rivalry wasn't born from competition. It was forged in a single disgraceful moment. On August 18, 2024, the Fever were dismantling the Seattle Storm in their own building. Caitlin Clark was on a tear, on the verge of making history with double-digit assists in 3 consecutive games. The energy was electric, but in the final minutes, it turned ugly. As Clark tried to hype up the home crowd, Seattle's Skylar Diggins, walking off the court, delivered a body check that sent shockwaves through the league. The contact was blatant, unnecessary, and to many, it looked intentional. Social media erupted instantly. A post from Dave Portnoy exposing the incident racked up over 250,000 views in just 20 minutes. The narrative was set. The Seattle Storm were bullies, targeting the league's brightest new star out of frustration. Even worse was the Storm's reaction. They walked away as if nothing happened, while their coach complained about the Fever running up the score. It was a bizarre display of deflection that only fueled the fire.
This league doesn't know what to do with Caitlin Clark. They don't know what to do with the Indiana Fever. It's not just her, Aliyah, Boston, Mitchell. Oh, this team is coming together, and Caitlin Clark is loving it. She's laughing at you, Skylar. Imagine that you bump her, and then you have the audacity to complain about them? Just play ball. You didn't hear Indiana crying when they started off 1-9. They just got up off the mat and started. That's assault!
Mark behind the back. It goes right to the window on Wheeler. Excellent. It's up the 3 ball by Dantas, and looky here, looky here. Oh, beautiful feed to Aliyah Boston. This Mitchell goes right in at Ezzy Magmagor and scores. Oh, Aliyah Boston, a 30-pack tonight. She stay on fire, she does.
That night left a scar. For the Indiana Fever, the incident was more than just a cheap shot. It was a deeply personal insult that lingered in the locker room for months. While the public debated the intent, the Fever players knew what they saw. They saw their leader targeted, and they saw a rival team show no remorse. That memory was etched into their collective consciousness. Every practice, every team meeting, and every win that followed was quietly building toward one specific date on the calendar, their next game against the Seattle Storm. The coaching staff remembered. The veterans remembered. And you can be certain Caitlin Clark remembered. They were no longer just preparing for a basketball game. They were preparing to make a statement. The world was watching to see if the Fever would get their revenge, but nobody could have predicted the brutal test they were about to face.
Hook pass Aliyah Boston. Gabby closes out on her, now spins on Ezzy. Nicely done, and Boston scores. She's
8 points allowed on their home floor.
And again, Aliyah Boston just straight line drive.
Yeah.
Lexie Hull was crashing the boards like her life depended on it. She was grabbing rebounds over much taller Storm players. Hull was flying around the court, diving for loose balls, doing all the dirty work that doesn't show up in highlight reels but wins basketball games.
Offense, not a lot of weak side help after she went behind the back.
Biggest lead of the game for Indiana. They can add to it here on the turnover. Wheeler the only one back. 3-on-1. And Lexie Hull lays it up and in. Coming around is Mitchell. She was public enemy number 1 on the outside for Indiana in the first. There's Hull, wide open look and strike it.
Yeah, good offense.
Fast forward to June 24th, 2025. The stage was set for the ultimate showdown. The Fever entered Seattle's arena, a hostile environment buzzing with fans who remembered the last encounter. The weight of expectation was immense, but from the very first possession, something was terribly wrong. Caitlin Clark, the player who had been shooting lights out all season, couldn't buy a basket. Her shots weren't just missing. They were clanking off the rim, falling short, and looking completely out of sync. With every missed three-pointer, the Seattle crowd grew louder, sensing blood in the water. They believed they had rattled her, just like they tried to do the year before. She went a shocking 3 for 13 from the field and missed all 6 of her attempts from beyond the arc. As the game wore on, Clark had only 6 points to her name, a season low that came on the worst possible night. The Fever's plan for retribution seemed to be crumbling before their very eyes. The nightmare was happening again.
Indiana trying to end this road trip on a victory and get to 500 on the season. Seattle trying to win game number 7 out of 8. Oh, beautiful feed by Donta, sealing it off for Cunningham on the push. Here's Mitchell, hit one from this exact spot and hits another one. Kelsey Mitchell.
The next ones from mid-range are going down.
She is shooting 55% from the field.
Oh
my.
All of those things are winning in the margins, right? Winning in the margins. And when it comes down to tough games, when it comes down to gut check games, and this was a gut check back against the wall game for us. But I'm so proud of you guys and the way that you responded.
But as Clark's light dimmed, another fire was just beginning to ignite. While Seattle focused all their energy on shutting down the struggling star, they completely forgot about Aliyah Boston. Watching her teammate falter, Boston decided to take matters into her own hands. She began attacking the rim with a ferocity nobody had ever seen from her before. Every drive was a statement, every basket a blow to Seattle's arrogance. She spun through defenders, finished through contact, and played with a controlled rage that the Storm had no answer for. They tried to adjust their defense, but Boston was a step ahead, scoring from the paint, from mid-range, and making plays she had never showcased in her career. She wasn't just scoring. She was systematically dismantling Seattle's will to compete. By the end of the night, Aliyah Boston had dropped a career-high 31 points, a stunning performance that left the Seattle defenders looking utterly defeated. This wasn't just a great game, it was an eruption.
AB career high 31. Composure, finishing around the rim, and your 800 career rebound.
There's Boston with it. She'll lay it up and in. And as Mitchell will try her hand again and just get down. Boston going right to the rim and scores.
Boston's explosion lit the fuse, but the real depth of this new Fever team was revealed in the grit of its unsung heroes. While Boston dominated the scoring, Lexie Hull was busy doing all the dirty work that wins championships. Hull, a player known for her hustle, transformed into an absolute monster on the boards. She was flying around the court, outworking Seattle's bigger players with pure determination. She crashed the glass relentlessly, grabbing rebounds over players who had inches on her and diving for every loose ball as if her life depended on it. The Storm couldn't keep her away from the action. Her energy was infectious, and her efforts were game-changing. By the time the final buzzer sounded, Hull had achieved something she'd never done before in her entire WNBA career. Her first ever double-double with 15 points and a career-high 11 rebounds. It was a testament to the heart of a player who refused to let her team lose, proving that the Fever's fight came from every single player on the roster.
Lexie, first career double-double. And a career high 11 rebounds. Yep. Here we go. Together. 3, 1, 2, 3.
Haven't done that consistently. Seattle has.
Mitchell working on Magbagor to the corner, the other corner, and same result for Lexie Hull, where she hit one just a moment ago from the opposite side. Almost another offensive rebound, though, by Boston, but Seattle has it. Ooh, there's a wolf right there, and it's stolen away. Clark up top. Lexie Hull pump fakes Cook and scores.
Kelsey, man. And hey, great job of recognizing the hot hand and the hot action and continuing to go to it.
Mitchell goes right in at Ezzy Magbagor and scores. Kelsey Mitchell has been unconscious tonight. Aliyah Boston, a 30-pack tonight. Mitchell, does she stay on fire? She does. It has been Kelsey Mitchell's night.
With Boston dominating the paint and Hull controlling the glass, the Storm were on their heels. But the final decisive blows came from the team's veteran leader, Kelsey Mitchell. While Clark struggled from deep, Mitchell stepped into the void and began her own assault from the perimeter. She started hitting critical three-pointers that silenced the crowd and kept the Fever in control. Her confidence was soaring with every shot that swished through the net. But this was more than just a hot streak. Mitchell's incredible 26-point performance etched her name into the WNBA history books. It marked her 14th career game with at least 25 points and 5 made threes, moving her into sole possession of 5th place all-time for that stat. On a night when her team needed a sharpshooter to step up, the veteran delivered a historic performance, completing a trifecta of heroism that Seattle never saw coming.
Yes, Kelsey said this feels like the first time you guys put in a 40-minute game. Just how did it feel for you?
Yeah, I mean, we did. You know, I think we had some hiccups and we had some breakdowns, but we played through them. And we played with multiple levels of effort on both ends of the floor. You know, for the most part, you know, made really good decisions, had each other's back. Highest level of consistent communication we probably had all year. You know, and I felt like there was huge growth from our team today, and I'm really proud.
When the final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard read 94-86. The Indiana Fever players erupted in a celebration that was far more intense than a typical regular season win. They hugged each other on the court, smiling and shouting with a sense of pure, unadulterated relief. This victory was the culmination of 10 long months of frustration. In the post-game interviews, the story became even clearer. Coach Stephanie White praised her team's newfound maturity, highlighting their ability to win even when their star player was having an off night, something that would have been impossible for the team just a year ago. Players spoke about staying together, about fighting through adversity, and about playing a complete 40-minute game for the first time all season. This wasn't just about breaking a losing streak, it was about the birth of a new identity. They had faced their bullies, endured their stars' worst performance, and fought back as a unified force.
And Amy had that early foul trouble, but she kind of came back and she had a career high. Just what can you say to her tonight?
Just what a hell of a job. She was on balance all the time. She does such a good job of facilitating that I feel like sometimes she misses opportunities to be a scorer for us. And outside of one time when she passed it out, when she had a guard on her, I thought she did a good job of making the right reads and the right plays. She was efficient. She was hunting opportunities, and we were getting her the ball in a timely manner. And so much of AB's efficiency is about us getting her the ball on time and on target, and I thought we did a better job today.
This single game sent a powerful message to the entire WNBA. The Indiana Fever are no longer a one-woman show. The league thought they had the blueprint to stop them, shut down Caitlin Clark. But they were wrong. On a night when Clark struggled, Aliyah Boston became an unstoppable force. Lexie Hull became a warrior on the glass, and Kelsey Mitchell became a record-breaking sharpshooter. They proved that this team's greatest strength isn't a single player, but a collective spirit that refuses to be broken. They didn't just win a game. They exercised their demons and revealed a depth that makes them one of the most dangerous teams in the league. The days of pushing the Fever around are over. Now, the rest of the WNBA has a much bigger problem. How do you stop a team that has heroes waiting in every corner?
We've played a lot of games where we play 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and we end up coming up short because of that. And that's been our whole focus, is play a full 40 minutes, win every 5-minute increment that we can. And just really proud of our group. I feel like we've hit some adversity along the way, and I think that's only pushing us closer and closer together. And just really proud of how we stayed with it. They were, going on there, running the fourth quarter, trying to fight back, and I feel like there's been times where we've separated in that moment. And tonight we just stayed together, and that just shows the growth of our team and how we're just, again, our chemistry is getting better and we're trusting each other more. And I think we saw that in the fourth quarter.